Let me finish the story in India. We then went to a brothel house and I saw an old woman on the floor. She was old, man. She looked like 120 years old. She has skin and bone, wrinkles on wrinkles. She had a hunched back like this. She's sitting on the floor. She's looking up at me like this. She can't even close her mouth. She's that weak, looking up at me. And through a translator, I spoke to her about Jesus. On the wall, from left to right, top to bottom of the back wall of the house, are all the Hindu gods. They have about 330 million gods. And I started telling her about Jesus. And all of a sudden, this woman walks in, and she's really angry that we're there. I'm there with the cameras and stuff, my crew, and we come in the house. She's on the floor. This woman walks in. She's looking at us. She says, "What you doing here? Who are you?" She's got her arms crossed like this. I said, "I'm Nick, and I'm here to talk about Jesus." Now, before I tell you what she says, I want you to know that as I've been in 60 countries, when you go to a developing country and you see these people who don't have a doctor, who don't have a hospital, you know what they do about once every 2 weeks? They do a ceremony for black magic, where science can't explain it. That's why when a white man like me comes into a developing country and says, "Hey, I'm talking to you about my God that you can't see," you know what they say? "Show me." So this woman, she says, "I don't want to hear about Jesus. Show me." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "This woman on the floor, this old woman on the floor, is my sister." She said, "You see that door? She ain't walking out that door. She hadn't walked for 4.5 years. We carry her everywhere. Look at her legs." And I looked at her legs. Skin and bone. Legs that hadn't worked for 4.5 years. She said, "If your God is real, make her walk now." I prayed for her, and the first time, she could not walk at all. She couldn't put any weight on her feet. Trying to just get up in a vertical position to try to stand, her face was like, "Ah!" like this. We sat her back in the chair. She's trying to catch her breath. And I said, "No, God, that ain't a miracle. We're going to pray one more time." We start massaging her legs, and no joke, no exaggeration, 20 seconds later, her face goes from this to this. Whoa. I'm like, "What happened?" She said, "I don't know, but I'm ready." I said, "What?" She said, "Yeah, I want to try walking." And I said, No. We need to pray a lot more." Isn't that funny? The evangelist prays for the paralyzed woman, and the paralyzed woman says, "I'm ready," and he says, "No." Do you know what that means? Nick Vujicic only had a tiny little bit of faith. But he put that tiny little bit of faith in the living God. You could put oceans of faith in your intellect, oceans of faith in your attitude, oceans of faith in a dead God. But you put a little bit of faith in the Most High God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Amen. I said, "Do you need help to get up and walk?" She said, "No." She got up by herself. It was incredible. Like not even struggling to get up. She got up. She's stomping on the ground like this. She can't believe. She says, "The pain's gone. The pain's gone." She starts walking like this. We're all like, "Whoa." She got so excited, she starts jumping up and down. I'm like, "Honey, don't break the legs that God just healed." And her sister, the one who was angry, she went to the wall of gods and said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And I said, No. I said, "Haven't you been praying to them for a while?" She said, "Yes." I said, "This was not your God. Jesus did this. Jesus. Your gods and any person you've been following, they didn't resurrect. Jesus did, and He's alive. Do you know why I share this story with you? I told you the verse. Nothing ever separates you from the love of God. The friend who took me there was an Indian man. And it's hard for an Indian man to look pale, but he looked really pale. And he looked at me and he said, "Unbelievable." I said, "I know, cool, huh?" He said, "No, Nick, you don't understand." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Nick, that old woman who walked, she ain't just any old woman." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "She was evil." I said, What did she do?" He said, 45 years ago, that woman claimed that 10-acre block of land in Mumbai and started building the brothel houses and is the founder of human trafficking in this city. She recruited the pimps and the madams and the kidnappers. They are the ones who came up with the crafty way to convince parents to sell their kids for $700. She is responsible for at least 30,000 slaves. And God still healed her. And here's the best part. When she asked Jesus into her heart, not only did God forgive her of her sins, He completely erased His memory of them. Completely. And 3 years later, human trafficking in Mumbai was shut down on that 10-acre block.